343 just did what? Guys, this Halo 7 news is juicy. We have 343 hiring a former Bungie veteran. They also responded to all the controversial drama and rumors this week regarding 343 hating Bungie and not wanting to work with them in the past, but now is hiring Dan Gniady. And we also have a studio art position that basically gives us insight as far as like Halo 7 storyboards, regarding like pitches, mood boards, and whole things regarding the development. So this is actually a really good one. Be sure to smash that like button blue. Former Bungie veteran is leading the next Halo experience. He said this on his LinkedIn: lead game designer working on cool Halo stuff at 343. And the official experience, he says here, is, well, he worked at Bungie for almost a decade working on Destiny 2. He did work at Creative Assembly. I was hoping it was Halo Wars 3 related maybe, but it doesn't look like that. He worked on something called Hyenas. But this is actually the company that made Halo Wars 2. And now he is the lead game designer at 343 as of April 2024. And he is doing game direction on a Halo experience. Very sus, very sus. He said, giving the Covenant back their bomb. That's such a great quote. And I might be reading too much into it, but it's my job to speculate, all right? Could that be pointing to something related to the original trilogy, Halo 1, 2, and 3? We do know that there is possibly a Halo 1 remaster, remake actually from the ground up in Unreal Engine, possibly in development to relaunch on new consoles like the PS5 and Switch. But also, maybe this is just his favorite quote, and he could be working on either Halo Wars 3 or Halo 7 or a completely different side Halo game that has not been announced yet. Obviously, something is in development, and this actually came from Rebs Gaming, so big shout out to them for finding these sources. And it was all backed up by Unisheck saying, dang, I thought that the number company didn't hire people from the rope company. Smirk smiley face, which I think is just kind of poking fun at the whole situation drama that we heard that in the past they didn't want to hire from Bungie, which, you know, could be true, possibly. We know Frank O'Connor led the studio and he worked at Bungie back in the day, so that's not necessarily true if you didn't know that. But, you know, Unisheck here is 343 community manager, so obviously he confirms this story to be true, and he says, ha ha ha, hardly these rumors have always been sad. Anyone who has worked at either studio knows how many people get hired from the other. Good talent goes where they want and when they want. And both studios jump on the opportunity to hire talent when they become available. We have ex-Halo developer from Bungie that worked on the original games, and this was someone that was declined, rejected from working at 343. And this is very interesting because Unisheck responded to Paul Russell. This is someone that went in for an interview back in the day and basically was rejected and told by a friend at 343, sorry, no Bungie people. Well, he responded to Unisheck's tweet just now, and he said, hi John, so there might be some misunderstanding in a time lapse. In 2010, one of the reasons I didn't get the 343 gig was they didn't want anyone instrumental in the creation of the original game. So he's kind of pushing back at this narrative that 343 has always loved Bungie. As far as I know, skilled task specialists were welcome. I have no idea what happened after 2010. I was told no Bungie people, and the elaboration was what I said above. Specifically, they worried about my objectively regarding the new art direction. This translated to all Bungie's original creative team. Programming was agnostic. A lot of years have passed. Of course, devs are professional and friendly across studios. Any friction between 343 and Bungie is only between lawyers. There was a very specific team of philosophy at 343 that clearly loosened up over time. Fans need to stop arguing about this seriously. So he says, yeah, I'm sorry if that was the case for you back in 2010. In the 9 years I've been here, I have never heard of this nefarious hiring conspiracy internally. Obviously, teams have changed quite a bit, which has clearly been for the better, as that kind of attitude is not okay. We'd always love to have folks from the original games. Heart emoji. And then, yeah, so that's where Paul Russell said, dude, I totally hear that. It was a thing that was said to me at the time, and I'm not sure what happened even a day after being told that. I actually get it. It also comes down to personality. The original team, me included, were generalists. with little to no supervision. Oh, but we have Dan Gniady working on the game, lead game designer, which is pretty exciting. What else is happening? Okay, so we have this studio art director position. This is someone that has worked on Halo, but it actually gives us a really good reference point as to the development cycle. So I think that this game has been in development for, based on job listings, it seems about 2 years. It's also likely that 343 is working on 2 different Halo games, or at least helping another studio with the second one. So this studio art director position has already, been ended here, but this is basically the outline for it. They spearheaded the creative direction for future Halo projects, collaborated with narrative and design leads on franchise themes, tone, and visual style, and provided creative direction for characters, environments, and market positioning across products, considering audiences, budgets, and brand values, produced pitch decks, mood boards, and directed videos to convey creative direction, set viz dev and quality targets throughout concept art, prototyping, and media analysis. So this is just kind of giving a general vision for how Halo 7 or this next Halo game is going to roll out. It sounds like this person, as of August 2023, has been doing some very early ground pre-production work on this Halo experience, this Halo 7 that we are speaking of. And Rebs Gaming thinks that means that Halo 7 has been in development for less than a year, but I don't think so. Having worked on large projects, it's totally realistic that there are things still in pre-production, even though a lot of the other project has already been in production for a while. So this could just be late stuff. It could be that they're working on DLC, things that are late in production, whatever that might be. So I don't think that this means that Halo 7 just started development. In fact, there is sufficient evidence pointing to the fact that 343 started working on Halo 7 just about 2 months after the launch of Halo Infinite, right? So this is really cool. It gives us an idea that they're working on storyboards, mood boards, which sounds really interesting. Never heard of that before, but also the visual style, probably bringing back the visual style from Halo Infinite, but maybe doing something new, right? Directing these cutscenes and how Master Chief is going to relate to the weapon and the pilot, and possibly Atriox is probably what they were doing. Things like that, which is really exciting. But, we also have this senior user designer position, and this is basically someone that's going to make the UI intuitive and look beautiful. It's like main menu, the submenus, the armor customization, the rostered tab, the, just the in-game menu, things like that. Halo Infinite did not have this, and it did not do it very well. It felt unfinished. There's evidence that it was unfinished. Many people feel like it's unfinished, and there's a lot of missing features compared to games like Halo 2 and Halo 3, right? So it's good that they are hiring someone to do this job specifically, and hopefully, I don't think they're a contractor, but giving the Covenant back their bomb. Am I reading too much into that? My job is to read too much into things sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but yeah, this is the next Halo game that's in development, and this is awesome. It's incredible.